Hello everybody, welcome back to Sweet and Sour Soccer, and this is the moment that a lot of people have been waiting for, and not just Wolves fans, but Spurs fans. Liverpool have been in and around a little bit, but it's Barcelona. It is looking like have secured the services of Adama Traore. Guys, breaking news. Before we jump in, please hit that like button and subscribe. It means so much. Scott, I think it's fair to say, or it's smart to say, we are Wolves fans. For the last week or two, it's been he's going to go to Spurs, but they want to do typical Spursian Levy things, pay 15 million when we want 20, 25. That's gone now. I mean,
it is. Yeah, and as you said, the only person to blame once again from a Spurs perspective is Levy. Because once again, he's played around. Apparently, at the start of the window, obviously at the time, Wolves weren't really competing with Spurs, were we? We've gone through January winning every game. We're now kind of competing with them for that European spot. It wasn't unlikely, but it was still a bit of a distant, perhaps, dream. Coming into January. So at the time, we were willing to let him go, 20 million. We'll go about do our business. He then messed around, which has now meant that, of course, now the transfer fees increase because we've got less time to spend that money. And of course, we're now direct rivals. So once again, there's only one person to blame, I think, from a Spurs perspective. And it's no surprise who.
It's really crazy because we've known for 3 or 4 days that Adama had already agreed, almost completely agreed personal terms with Spurs. I think it's been touted that it was £120,000 a week. It was going to make him the 4th highest paid Spurs player, if I'm not mistaken. You've got Spurs, Levy, Enick, Joe Lewis. You've got Antonio Conte. Spurs, you have Antonio Conte, who could be managing any club on the planet, and you're haggling for £4 million. What are you just?
And it's not just this transfer, is it? From a Spurs perspective, obviously Diaz as well, and from a Spurs perspective, now that would have been taking out a major player. He's been an impact sub for us, but taking in a major player from a Wolves team that is actually competing with Spurs. And look at the table if you disagree. We are competing with Spurs. It would have been a brilliant move. You could have got it done in January. Conte might go. You can't blame Conte for walking. He was promised players. He said that himself. If you're Antonio Conte, they're messing the Diaz deal about as well. That's the same thing, isn't it? Money.
I was just going to say that, Scott. Shall we make this news even worse for Spurs fans? Because it's been broken in the last, I'd say, today definitely, the last 3 or 4 hours, it's been all but confirmed. Luis has apparently personally said he's happy to join Spurs. He said he'll join Spurs, but he wants Liverpool first. He said, if Liverpool don't want me, fine, I'll go to Spurs. Spurs, just get these deals done. You've got Antonio Conte. Oh, Scott, let's go back to the actual transfer and give a bit of information for Wolves fans. Now, there's no fee agreed at this point in time. As you mentioned, Scott, off camera, sorry to steal your light, that Adama is now a George Mendes client. I'll give you all the credit for that one. The talk is a loan until the end of the season, tying up a few loose ends because, of course, we'd want to transfer now, but we'd rather loan him to a team that isn't in the Premier League and maybe get a fee in the summer.
Yeah, definitely. And from what's being said at the moment, we know that it's a loan. Barcelona originally just wanted a loan. I don't think Wolves would accept that. Maybe the next will go in for a loan with an option to buy. I'd still be surprised, but maybe they would think that's a better deal than letting him go to Spurs, a rival. And then, of course, it's be whether we push for a loan with an obligation to buy. Of course, we've also got Trincao, who I don't know if we're going to sign him. Are we not? That's depends how he does in the second half of the season.
Well, they've just got Adama now. It's looking like Trincao from Barcelona. They signed Adama. Does that say
it? Could be likely something could be done there. So
Hwang Hee-chan as well, we've just made permanent.
Yeah, so that's it. I think there's definitely a deal that can be done there. Maybe I think it would suit both Barca and us if we weren't spending physical cash. Maybe there's a swap deal. Who knows? It's going to carry on breaking. But from a Wolves perspective, not to gloat to Spurs fans watching this, but This is brilliant news.
And we've just lost all the Spurs fans. Guys, what we should say, we should have actually said this closer to the beginning of the video, but I was just so excited. It was a gentleman called Gerard Romero, who is a very, very well-respected journalist in Spain. I believe he originally broke the news, and of course it spread like wildfire because, Scott, it wasn't that long ago that Manchester City were looking at Adama. Liverpool have looked at him. Chelsea potentially were maybe thinking about bringing him in as well before the resurgence of Trevor Chalobah, who of course has come on and done so well. There have been big clubs that have looked at Adama Traore over the past 6 to 18 months. And Spurs, you had him. You had him. You just had to pay that extra 3 or 4 million, and you could have taken a good player from us, a rival, for top 4 this season, and now he's gone.
And I think one thing I would say, just to bring the Spurs fans back on side, I'd say Barcelona is going to be used as a right winger, isn't he? He's going to be used as a winger for them. Conte wanted to make him into a right wing back. Nuno already tried that. It didn't work. The bloke, he loves getting forward. He hates the part of defending, and he hates tracking back. I don't think he would have done a brilliant job at Spurs as a right wing back. I really don't. And I think after a couple of months, I probably would have tried to make him into a super impact sub like he has been for Wolves.
I don't disagree. I mean, if any manager in the world could get Adama to play right wing back, it would have been Antonio Conte. True. But even if that didn't work out, it's not like they're going to sell him. Lucas Moura is getting on a little bit in age now. He could maybe make that right-hand side position his own with Kane and Son on the other wing. That is some attacking lineup. You must say. Scott, from a Wolves point of view, how do you feel? For any Wolves fans watching this who have seen the channel before, who know my opinions on Adama, I've been Adama out for 12 to 18 months. It's not been recent, I really have. You've slowly, I think this season's kind of said to you, do you know what? 1 goal this season, no assists, enough's enough. How do you feel? Because although I've been Adama out, I love to see him play. He's so energetic. Yeah. He gets you out of your seat, but he's so frustrating. Are you sad about this, or do you think, well, he came through La Masia, he fled the nest to get first-team football, he's going back home? Are you happy for him?
I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him because this is an ideal move. And it's one of them, isn't it? Look, we wouldn't pay him 120 grand a week. Barcelona probably will. We know what they're like with their wages. They're probably lobbing 300 grand a week at him now in Barcelona. But it's a dream move for him. And to be honest, now we've got obviously Trincao, we've got Hwang Chan, who's signed for us. We've got Podence, we've got Neto coming back. We've got options on the wing. We need players in other positions. So for me, this one really does make sense. I'm sad to see him go because I did warm to him. I did like him. Maybe that's made me a bit biased. But all in all, as a Wolves fan, I'm happy it's going to be Barcelona.
I think he could have been a very, very good player in Europe. I just don't think it's worked out for Wolves. I just don't. But he could flourish elsewhere. Guys, let us know. Hit those comments. I know he's very divisive amongst Wolves fans, Adama Traore. Let us know. Did you want him to have another chance here and give him another season? Are you happy to see him go? And I'm sure you're glad that he's not going to another Prem rival.
Yes, indeed. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we shall see you on the next video. Goodbye.